Welcome race fans to Nevada Diecast Car Racing. I'm Miles Grant and I'm coming to you from the Big Couch in Canyon Speedway. Today is our big event. It is the final of our first 9-pack tournament. All cars have been raced in qualifying rounds and wildcard rounds, and we've come down to the top 5 cars which will compete in today's event. First up is this 1990 Acura NSX driven by Griff from Griffin Soul Diecast Motors. This 1971 Maverick Grabber driven by Bolo Brown from Miniature Car Racing. A McLaren P7 driven by Andy from the Zelda Diecast Racing Channel. Dodge Challenger driven by Scooter Ranwell from the Spirit of 64 race team. Finally, the Gruppo X24 driven by Lightman from Northern Lights Racing. Thanks to everyone who's participated in this tournament. And folks, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Now it's about time for race time, so let's head to the starting line for race 1. Bolo Brown and Griff in the front row. Griff is pulling ahead, but Bolo Brown right behind him. They're both pulling away from the pack. But there goes Griff in that Acura NSX, takes it first place. It looks like Lyman overtakes Bolo Brown coming out of that last turn, and he secures second. On the replay, you can see Bolo Brown loses control of that Maverick Grabber, and the X24 slips by. And meanwhile, Scooter Ranwell seems to have some engine trouble, and he gets stranded up on that first hairpin turn. And here's our scores after our first race. We've got Andy and Bolo Brown in the front row. Bolo Brown pulling ahead. Here comes Andy. And that Gruppo X24 driven by Lightman is right there as well. But it looks like Bolo Brown is going to go all the way to the finish line and take first place. Let's check the replay to see what happened to Griff in that Acura NSX. He's in the back row. There he ran right into the guardrail of that chicane. There it is again. Goodness gracious, and he's on his roof and out of this race. And there's a lot of aggressive driving in this race. Keep an eye on Andy in that McLaren P7 as he pushes Scooter Ranwell into the guardrail. And they are not finished with Ranwell as the X24 plows into him. And Lightman eventually finds his way around that blue Challenger. And then Andy in that P7, for no apparent reason, just plows into the back of Bolo Brown's Maverick Grabber. But irregardless, Bolo Brown does pull out a win. And this is how it all shakes out after our second race. Alright, here comes race 3. And we see Lightman and Andy up front. That McLaren's pulling ahead. Looks like Griff is making a move on Lightman and does pass him into that second position. And now he tries to catch up to that McLaren, but there is just not enough track to make it happen, so it looks like Andy's going to take first place. Let's roll it back and watch these 4 cars just battling it out. Here comes Griff on the outside of Lightman trying to get past him. Lightman makes one desperate attempt to try to cut him off, but he is unsuccessful. And meanwhile, Scooter Ranwell managed to get past Bolo Brown, who is currently driving backwards. So this is how the third race rounds out. And we've got a big battle between 4 cars, and something's going on with Scooter Ranwell's car, but he is currently in last place. Race 4, Ranwell in the front row along with Lightman. Lightman and Bolo Brown both overtake Ranwell, and they are just blazing ahead of the pack. And looks like they are, look at that last second pass by Bolo Brown on that last hairpin turn. That is some great driving, and he steals first place from right under the nose of Lightman driving that Gruppo X24. So this is where we stand on the final race of this final event of our first 9-pack tournament here at the NDCR. Neither of the top 2 cars are in the front row for this race. Griff and Ranwell in the front row. Lightman back in 4th place. Griff and Ranwell pulling ahead. But here comes Lightman from out of nowhere trying to overtake that NSX on this last straightaway. He doesn't take first place, but second place is enough to win this tournament. Let's see the replay and check out that sheer mayhem that occurred on that hairpin turn. Bolo Brown sideways, Scooter Roundwell on his roof, and all the while Lightman just making those passes. What a great race. So Lightman from Northern Lights Racing driving that Greppo X24 is the winner of our first Hot Wheels 9-pack tournament. And even though Griff came in a respectable second place, he's got to be disappointed about that DNF he received in that second race. Congratulations to all the drivers that participated in this 9-pack tournament and all who have watched. If you didn't catch all the events, remember there is a playlist for that. We'll see you next time. I'm Miles Grant, your announcer, and I'm an adult.